So you believe in destiny?
I believe in making your own destiny.
So did I, once. So tell me, when does a guy know when to cut his losses and run before he makes a bigger mess of things?
When you figure that out, pal, you let me know.
Isaac, got a sec?
Sure.
That guy called again.
Holden Snyder? What'd you tell him?
You have a legal arrangement, not a marriage.
That makes two of us. You do remember Holden, don't you?
Get out.
You crashed my party first.
Oh, what are you talking about?
You practically seduced my husband on what was supposed to be his honeymoon.
No, I don't know. You keep saying this, but this is ridiculous. It's
Really?
impossible.
Okay,
Yes.
well, then you might want to check and see if you feel a little bit naked without a certain piece of jewelry. Perhaps a gift from a loving yet estranged husband. Holden even had it engraved for you, and I found it on our hotel room floor. And don't even try to deny it, Lily. Simon already told me that you followed us to Bay City. And we had a little meeting with the INS today. That's how I know that Halliwell's onto you, too.
It's impossible.
Lady, if you don't keep your hormones in check, we're all going to end up in jail.
Keep your voice down. Nobody is going to jail.
Oh, yeah? Halliwell is very aware that you were AWOL on New Year's Eve. He thinks that Simon stashed you on the train, and he's going to do anything to prove that you two are getting it on.
I went out on New Year's Eve with a billion other people. I could have been anywhere.
Next time, try hell.
So where's his proof that I was with Simon? There isn't any proof. Is there?
What am I going to find during your next secret mission? Monogrammed underwear?
Where's the bracelet?
It's Halliwell's office.
You left it there.
I got mad. I threw it at Simon.
How can you be so stupid?
You're the one who almost blew this thing sky high,
By
Lily.
being like this, by being hysterical, you're playing right into Halliwell's hands.
I am facing a 5-year jail sentence and a fine of $250,000. We're not all as rich as you.
Don't you understand? Don't you get it? Halliwell, he wants you to be like this. He wants you to act like this. You have to stay calm.
Is a tumble really worth seeing your children through a glass partition for the next 5 years?
You made your point. Now get out of my house.
I am not leaving until you promise to keep your hands off my husband.
Don't start buying into this husband fantasy.
Our marriage is not just legal, Lily. It's real.
I don't know what you mean by real, but this marriage happened for 2 reasons. We were desperate, and Simon needs a green card.
Don't talk down to me,
Don't
Lily.
get the wrong idea. Simon only did this to stay in the country, to be with me.
Fine. But to the rest of the world, what we have better look like true love.
Good, then go back to the apartment and start working on your performance, because that's what it is. A performance.
How am I going to convince anybody if I'm looking over my shoulder every 5 minutes, waiting for you to jump out of the bushes? If Simon and I have a prayer of pulling this off, we need our privacy.
Coming over here and yelling at me is not doing any good. If Halliwell followed you, he knows that you're here, and it's over for all of us.
Well,
Don't
then,
you see that?
You should have thought about that before you trailed us to Bay City. The more you come on to Simon, the harder it is for me to pull this off.
Meaning what?
Meaning I'm going to do whatever it takes to avoid a jail sentence. I am not sporting an orange jumpsuit so you can get your jollies. You know, with all of your mother's money and your social standing, you sure turned out to be a bigger slut than your sister.
Don't you dare ever judge me. You lied, and you schemed your way all these months to try to get Holden.
Because I knew I was better for him than you ever were. And face it, Lily, I was right.
I'm not 16 anymore, Pop. You can't ground me.
Marati, don't I wish?
Hi. The newlyweds can't come to the phone right now, but if you leave a message, we'll get back to you.
Katie, it's me. I was just calling to see if you were okay. All right, I'll be home very soon. Bye.
That was very sweet.
Mrs. Preddy. Hi.
Lyla, please.
I was just calling Katie because we had a tough meeting with the INS. She was a little shaken up, I'm afraid.
This arrangement isn't going to be easy for either one of you.
No, but we both knew what we were getting into.
Okay. I promise. No lectures.
So, why did you ask to meet me here?
Well, I'm leaving tonight. I've already said goodbye to Craig and Margot.
Does Katie know?
Not yet. Simon, I'm very worried about her.
I can understand that. But I also have to let you know that the wedding, that was Katie's idea. She pushed for it.
Well, I don't doubt that. You know, once she gets something in her mind, she doesn't always think about the consequences.
I know this doesn't make much sense to you. Katie's young and beautiful. She could have any guy in the world. Why would she want to put herself in the middle of this mess?
I know why. It's time that you know why, too.
I will not discuss Holden with you.
Was the bracelet the first thing or the last thing?
That's enough!
How do you think Holden would feel if he knew you wore a gift from him to go seduce your new lover?
I forgot that I had a tongue.
I would have never forgotten. Do you think that a husband is something that you can just trade in for a new model? That children just bounce back because you got bored with their father? They don't, Lily. They remember. Every day that they live without him around, the hole in their life gets a little bit bigger. Every day that they have to wake up and go to school without a hug or a kiss goodbye, that stays with them forever. When they realize that all they have left is a little memory of what family life they actually ever had, they're going to be angry and confused. Is that the kind of life you want for your children?
You're a hypocrite.
What?
You are such a hypocrite. Did you even think about my children? My children? When you tried to take their father away from me?
You took Holden for granted. You never appreciated him like I did. Yes, I wanted him, and yes, I thought that he could be a part of my life, but not really. I was just reaching for a star. I never really actually thought that he would be part of my life. But I don't have to reach anymore, because all that I've ever wanted, I finally have. It's finally mine, and his name is Simon Fraser.
You're not that delusional.
Simon doesn't judge me. He even forgave me for my little slip about our first night at the garage.
Oh, a slip. You call that a slip? No, you couldn't wait to advertise your pitiful one-night stand.
I knew you'd make it sound cheap. But it was far from cheap, Lily. I have dreamed for a long time about making love to someone as sweet and sensitive as Simon. And he was so gentle with me, as if I might break or something. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to embarrass you.
Oh, yes, you are.
It's just that for the first time in my life, I didn't feel like second best.
Let me get something very clear to you, okay? Simon would not have given you even the time of day if he thought for a second he had a chance with me. Why am I bothering? Why am I even bothering? I know what's real. That's all that matters.
What's real is that Simon and I have 2 years to be married before the INS even considers it a real marriage.
A lot can happen in 2 years, Katie. A lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I know Simon has feelings for you right now. But feelings change, and I can wait. I know he'll be thinking about you one night, fantasizing about you, wanting you. But I'm the person who's lying right next to him. I don't care. I'll play along. I'll do whatever he wants to make him happy. Because I have 2 years to make him believe that I am the only woman that he ever needs.
I was on the road a lot when Katie was little. When she started school, I had to leave her with sitters and grandparents.
Yeah, she mentioned it.
Did she ever talk about her father?
No. No, never actually.
He died when she was just a little girl. Once she was old enough, she started this scrapbook. She had found every photograph that I had of his, and she would take her annual school picture and place it right next to his. Every year, she'd add a new one as if he was watching her grow up. And when she was in the 2nd grade, she had found some letters of his, and I found her trying to imitate his handwriting.
I'm sorry, that must have been rough on both of you.
Was. But Katie, she was always smiling and so eager to please and trying to make her mom happy. thought she was handling things, but she tried to be the perfect student. She tried to be the perfect daughter, and she was, until she came here. And then I started to see the changes coming.
What kind of changes?
Well, she was influenced by that, what was his name, that producer, Holman? And she stole a job that was meant for somebody else. She just made all these bad choices. She even fell for a married man.
Yeah, I know a bit of the story.
And then she turned to Craig. And now you.
Look, Lyla, this is a strictly temporary situation. I never influenced Katie's decision.
I didn't say that you did. Simon, Katie has turned her whole life to you. And if it wasn't you, she would have latched on to somebody else. You know, she needs this strong male influence in her life.
What, like a father figure?
I guess, in a way. I think that she believes that a man is going to bring her this stability that I couldn't.
Lyla, look, I have been completely honest with Katie. I've told her, she knows. I am not in love with her.
Katie sometimes only wants to hear what she wants to hear, you know.
Then what do you want from me?
It's very simple. Don't break her heart.
This wouldn't have happened without your blessing. And although Simon isn't ready to admit it yet, I think he enjoys having me around.
Oh, well, he survived jumping out of a plane, being held on a desert island, being held at gunpoint. I guess he can survive you, too.
You know, the funny thing is that you think that you still hold the cards. You think you're still calling the shots. But that's my job now, Lily.
Are you threatening me?
Well, all it would take is one call to Agent Hallowell to tell him how scared I am. See, you and Simon talked me into this terrible scheme. I was just lonely and confused, so I went along with it. But that was before you started following Simon everywhere, and you wouldn't leave him alone. And I'm just realizing now that Simon never had any intention of fulfilling this marriage. You only forced him into marrying me so you two could fool around behind my back. I think that story would probably gain me, what's the legal term for it? Immunity from prosecution?
You're a witch.
Be careful. You don't want to tick me off.
You know what? Blow the whistle. Just blow the whistle. Let's get it all out in the open.
It's tempting. It is tempting. You know, I actually thought about that on the way over here. I'm thumbing my nose at the law. And for what? And then it hit me. The payoff is there. I just have to be patient. I have the next 2 years of my life to live with the most sensitive, the most amazing, sexy man alive. And 2 years is just long enough to make Simon fall in love with me. So face it, Mrs. Snyder. Simon is all mine. Or he's no one's.
Hey, I'm glad you're back. I got some dinner.
You bought dinner?
Uh-huh. Sesame chicken and steamed dumplings.
Oh, thanks.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I don't want you worrying about me.
Things got pretty rough at Hallowell's office.
I'm sorry I threw that bracelet at you.
No, believe me, you had every right.
I'm just really scared. Hallowell keeps saying I'm going to go to jail.
Nobody is going to go to jail.
You and Lily don't care what happens to me.
That's not true. That's not true at all.
Yes, it is. The only reason you're here is to be close to her. I feel like it's the two of you against me.
Come on, nobody's against you.
You heard Hallowell. He is watching us all the time. He's sure that Lily was in Bay City.
Listen to me. Listen to me. If he had any proof of that, we would never have left his office. The only thing that he can prove so far is that we are a happily married couple.
If Lily doesn't stop following us all the time, we're gonna get caught. She could ruin my life.
You have my word. Nothing is going to happen to you. I promise. Okay? Everything's going to be all right.